Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great night or day. I'm going to be analyzing chapters 4 through 6 of Their Eyes Were Watching God. So the first question is in chapter 4. Janie abandons Logan. If you were her, she leaves with Joe Starks. If you were her, would you have stayed or would you have left? This one was a little difficult for me to answer, but I kind of put myself in Janie's shoes, even though it's asking me what my personal opinion is. But I have to think like she's pretty young. And I feel like when you're young, you can be very naive depending on your life experiences. Obviously, based on hers, I feel like she is incredibly naive. And she obviously felt like she wasn't getting what she desired from being with Logan. She felt sort of like oppressed and she wasn't living the life that she expected with him. So, that's why she left, because it seemed like Joe was offering her like what seemed like rainbows and butterflies. So if I was her and I was naive and if I wanted something new and different, I would have 100% left, because to me it seems like Janie is not afraid to kind of follow the path that she wants. Like, she wants it, she feels like she's not getting it, she's gonna do it. So I kind of relate to her in that sense. So that's my answer. I would have left also. Second question. In chapter 5, Joe Starks becomes a powerful man. Do you approve of the social hierarchy that he establishes? So I found it really interesting. I know this story is based like in a very old setting, time period, that he really wanted to create a town, like an all black community, where he could establish it from the ground up and kind of built a system, like an organized system. If I approve of it, I do and I don't. I feel like anything that you're building from the ground up, especially like a town that has like no mayor, things like that, it's very easy to become very power hungry. And it's obviously the case in Janie's husband, Joe Starks. He already comes off like a very kind of hypocrite kind of way, that he seems like, I'm great, I'm this, I'm gonna do all this for y'all, but he seems like very greedy. So he almost like he's pretending to be someone he's not, to get what he wants. So that's why I don't approve of the social hierarchy that he's trying to establish. He's trying to come off like, I'm with the people for the people, but it just doesn't seem like that's the case. Third question is, how does Janie's beauty elevate her above other women, and how does it oppress her? Well, I mean, throughout the story, we already see that Janie's beauty is mentioned a lot. She's obviously very beautiful. It seems like men are always after her, and I'm sure she gets a lot of looks from other women, kind of like jealousy in a sense. So it kind of does uplift her because she knows that she's pretty. But how does it oppress her, I think, is the most important part of this question, because in chapter 6, I believe, when she's in the store, I believe there's a town citizen that's kind of looking at her hair, if I remember correctly. And her husband gets extremely jealous, to the point that she's like, I think he says, put it in a bun, because he doesn't want other people looking at it. So it, like, her own beauty kind of backfires against her, because like, her husband is very possessive and he doesn't want anybody else to see the beauty that he has. Like, he's very jealous. So unfortunately it impacts her. The fourth question is, do you find any irony in the chapters read, chapters 4 through 6? I do. I found two types. Well, one type, but two situations. Um, it's situational irony. I think the first example is when Janie leaves Logan to go with Joe Starks because she's under the impression that she feels very trapped with Logan and she's going to live a much happier life with Joe Starks. But slowly she even sees herself like this marriage isn't working. I don't feel like I am getting what I wanted out of this relationship. So it's ironic that she was longing for freedom and it turns out she's kind of stuck in the same bubble. So that's one example of the situational irony I found. Another example that I found was the part in chapter 6 about the mule. You can see Joe Starks is very, how do I say it, remorseful and sad when the mule dies. So like he goes out of his way to create like a mock funeral with the townspeople, but he doesn't include Janie. He doesn't like allow her to come. So it's ironic that he shows like all this selfless love and empathy towards a mule, but he doesn't do the same to Janie, which is ironic, of course. And even she sees that, you know. I'm not 100% sure if that's situational irony, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching my video. Appreciate it.